Hi everybody, it's Donox here. Welcome to this brave Synchron Deck Profile. I'm doing the deck profile because I have a lot of requests on the DP Grounder video featuring my match versus the SP average, so let's do it. Yeah, I'm top 80 with this deck. My win rate is pretty high. I wanted to bring this to nationals, but I just couldn't get the cards in time. So yeah, I'm grinding on DuelingBook. This is what your end board should look like. You have 3 Omni Negates, a hand drip, a floodgate, and on top of this, you have Hyper Librarian that draws about 6-7 cards. So the point is that this board plays against every deck. And any deck cannot beat this board with only engine, especially not two elements, because you have Herald, and especially not Spite, because yeah, what's they're gonna do. This also allows you to play around board breakers, so they can droplet you. If they Mystic Mine you, you have 3 Omni Negates for the 3 mines. If they have Dark Ruler, you have the Librarian draws that should alone be enough to stop any combo deck or any deck in general to even play. I mean, you're drawing your hand traps, you're drawing your droplets, you're drawing your follow-up. So there is really not a way that they can play through a hand drape and a full stacked hand. You're playing around Super Poly. They cannot Super Poly this board here. Evenly, Raigeki, they don't matter. And also, while building this board, I'm using the Brave engine, as the title said. So yeah, it's not like hand traps do a whole lot. Usually, one hand trap is really not enough. There are cases where 2, I mean, let's be honest, most of the times 2 are enough. But it has to be 2 that really impact the strategy. Because even if it's, for example, in Permanence Nibiru, okay, you still have a Chaos Ruler play, and you still have your hand traps, you still have your droplets, you still have souls that draws cards, you have really a lot of gas. And also this deck can play through established boards very well. So with that being said, let's jump right into the card by card. So first of all, we have the Synchron engine. Playing triple Stardust Synchron. It's one of your best normal summons, and it doesn't conflict with Brave cards because you can choose to use its on-field effect on any summon. You don't have to use it on normal summon, and you're summoning this guy many times during a turn. Stardust Trail is a searchable extender that helps chain blocking, helps generating more bodies because it generates a token, and it's free recursion when it's sent to grave. Illumination is a searchable Foolish Burial that also happens to have a level manipulation effect. Tuning is for consistency. You can search Stardust Synchron or Jet Synchron most of the times. You can always have a backup plan to search Junk Synchron if your hand need it, but most of the time you're searching either Stardust or Jet Synchron. Speaking of Jet Synchron, you have this guy, which is back from very recently. This card is just so amazing for this deck. It has crazy synergy with the Brave engine because the token is level 4 and that makes speed up. Jet alone plus Right is a 2-card combo that makes Herald and then speed up. So you have an Omni that guarantees your speed will resolve, and when speed will resolve, you're most likely winning the game. And that has never been possible before implementing the Brave strategy into Synchron. Then we have the Souls package. I'm playing 2 Souls, 2 Illusions. These guys have synergy with the Brave engine, of course. It's a part of Greed because you have this and this. The Sand of Souls. It has synergy with the Synchron engine because it's a level 1 and Stardust Synchron is level 4, so it's a speeder material. We take that every day of the week. We have the Brave Engine. I don't think I need to explain this one. Yeah, 3 Water Enchantress, 1 Griffin, 1 Fateful Adventure, 3 Rides, and the Draco deck. So there's your Optimistic Mind too. Now we have the extenders, we have Doppel Warrior. It's basically infinite non-tuner bodies for single plays because it's a non once per turn token generator and you're abusing the shit out of this card. I mean, yeah, even the worst case scenario that you have access to this card is 3 bodies and usually it's 6 or more. So yeah, this guy's broken and sooner or later will be banned. Not now, of course, but there will be some deck that breaks this card even farther beyond. So yeah, I'll play it as I can. Junk Synchron is a target for Speeda. It's also a powerful normal summon if you don't have access to the Brave Engine. I play it as a one-off because of course it conflicts with the right restriction. But if you don't have rights, it's still a very powerful normal summon, and especially paired with Doppel. Strudel is just a tuner extender that can be whatever level you need. Synchro Overtake is you can skip everything, don't read anything at all. This card is a card that synchro locks you, but special summon Jet Synchron from deck or graveyard. So it's pretty busted. Foolish Burial has a lot of targets. You have the Stardust package, the Sun, you have Jet, of course. You have Water Enchantress that you're sending most of the times. You can send Doppel Warrior if, for example, you draw Junk Synchron and no Brave Engine. You can send the Strudel. I said every card of my deck, so yeah, Foolish Burial is a very versatile card in this deck. You have your hand traps. I'm playing 3 Veilers and 3 Ash. The reason why I'm still playing hand traps is because you want to draw them with Speeder, as I said in the introduction and when I was talking about the board this deck does, this deck builds. Also, this deck is really strong going second into a board, so even trading 1 for 1, for example, if you know a Smasher will be very hard to deal with, you can trade the hand trap for the Smashers or the start of follow-up. They don't get to search it. Yeah, it's really strong, and also they're both combo pieces because Ash can help you summon Baron, and Veiler can help you summon Axel Synchron, and then Axel Synchron will get you into Speeda. I mean, actually, Veiler plus Right is Speeda. And it's very funny because two supplementary engine and a hand trap that makes your main plan is just amazing. Monster Reborn is just Monster Reborn and also triggers Doppel, helps you clearing boards. It's a very strong extender. Call by the Grave should be banned, of course. I'm playing it because I can, but I mean, I'm not expecting to play this card much longer. Droplet is has a lot of synergy with the deck because you can send basically every card of your deck and has value in grave, and that's also the reason why this deck is strong going second, because anything in graveyard has a recursion and can come back and forces a lot of interruption. Yeah, Droplet can send a lot. You have many spells that you can play before Droplet, so you have a free send. Also, the main reason why I'm playing this is because if TG Hyperlibrarian draws it, it's live even going first, and again, it's a board breaker that counters other board breakers. So it's optimal in this deck. And then you have 1 for 1. 1 for 1 just has the flexibility of special summoning Jet Synchron or Souls, whatever you need. Even Baylor, if for example you really want to BM with your opponent. For the X deck, I have Archifibrax. Archifibrax is just a backup plan if you don't have ways to go into Speeda. Also, is a very strong turn 3 play. Facilitates Punisher and Punch for Game. It's useful to play against Team Barrier. Yeah, It's cardable, but I think it's a strong card to include. Jet Warrior is mandatory because you're revealing this card with Synchro Overtake for special summoning Jet. And the fact is, it's not even a vanilla because, I mean, it's very strong going second. You can chain block this, so it acts like a pseudo mini Baxia. You chain block with Trail or even Jet, because Jet can search Junk Monster and you're playing Junk Synchron. So it's still a very strong card overall. These two, the Celestial Level Star Shaman and Martial Armature, are the small guys that build advantage when you only have lower level guys. I mean, these two with Doppel create a very strong board by themselves, even if your speeder gets negated. Yeah, I'll talk about later about display. Herald is a part of your handboard. It's a floodgate. Yeah, it can search Illusion of Chaos. It's just an auto win against the elements, so yeah, it has to be included. Accel Synchron is one of your best cards. This card is so overrated, underrated, sorry. It's basically a Cherubini for Synchron monsters. You can Foolish a Synchron for cost. It doesn't even need to be a tuner, but I'm only playing Synchro tuners in this build. You're sending Stardust Synchron and Jet Synchron, of course. Then it also has level manipulation effect, and on top of that it also has a quick sync effect, so it's a very versatile card. And the fact that it sends for cost means that if you Martyr bring back Accel, you can send another. For example, let's say Spear gets negated, you go with this two, you go Accel send the first one, for example Star Synchron, then you make it level 1, make Marcher revive Accel, and Doppel effect makes tokens so you can use this and abuse the shit out of a Doppel Warrior, and then you can use the cost again to send Jet Synchron, so it's an amazing play. Let's talk about this card now. This card is so strong. There is an FTK that only relies on summoning, on resolving Speeder. If you play enough bricks, this card is an FTK. It's literally an FTK. You're dealing 8400 damage, if I recall correctly. You can deal even more, but there's no point to. Yeah, it's a very strong card. It's basically Alki5 blocks on steroid. What can I say? Hyper Librarian, no once per turn, draw whenever you Synchro Summon. It's your win condition besides your board. Yeah, it's broken. Shooting Riser. Okay, this is interesting. I'm not playing a target for Shooting Riser. I'm only using this as a flexible synchro tuner monsters, because as many synchro summons I can make in a turn, and the more TG lets me draw. But if you want to include a Snow or a Scythe, for example, you can. You have the space to. You just play 44 cards, or you cut 1 for 1. You can cut something. And the reason why I'm not playing a target is because the end board is already strong as it is, so there is no need to play an additional break. But once Ishizu cards come out, definitely play Snow, if that card is not banned by the time you get Ishizu. Omega is part of your end board, also helps your grind game because it can put back banished stuff. Yeah, it can put back something from graveyard and itself, so it can also act as once DPE was around, I used Omega to shuffle back the DPE very often. Also, again, it plays around Dark Ruler because you hand ripping, and the fact that it's returning, it allows your turn free play into Punisher. Yeah, it's a very strong card. Crystal Wing is not part of your end board, the one I showed earlier, but it's a strong tool you can have. I'm not aiming at summoning this as your end board if I can make the other one, because it plays into super poly. But if you know your opponent is not on super poly, for example, if they're playing Mathmech, I've never seen Mathmech leaks with super poly because the X deck is pretty tight. This card is a really strong interruptions, allows you to jump over big monsters. For example, you can Chaos Ruler effect. Crystal Wing negates your own Chaos Ruler, so it goes to 6k attack and beat over the rival Cybers. So it's a very strong card. We have then Chaos Ruler. Do I really need to say much about this card? Abyss is another strong boss monster, so you can also play around Dark Ruler if you chain Twin and then chain Abyss to negate Chaos Ruler. So yeah, you have that too. Baron and Punisher. Punisher, as I said, is very easy to make. The most common routes are Stardust Synchron plus Griffin, that's 11, or Stardust Synchron, Illumination reduced level, and Omega or Chaos Ruler. Then we get to the side. The only card I'm siding going first is Gravity Collapse. It's a turn skipper, and also if you get hand trapped to death and you still have a Synchro body left over on field, you can just set collapse. You know you're gonna win. Also, there are plays where there are hands where I just go conservative. I keep all the gas for turn 3, and I go Hulky Firebrax, Special Summon Jet, set Gravity Collapse. So what happens is that you tag out for Shooting Riser. Shooting Riser dumps follow-up piece, and Gravity Collapse tributes and gets tributes Shooting Riser, and they don't get to play. Also, the last format this card wasn't very good because Despia was all over the place. But now Splite needs the normal summon, and all their Splite bodies are inherent summons. And Tillaments need the normal summon, and they will link summon to break your board. So this card is always live. Mystic Mine is disgusting, but it's legal, so I'm playing it. Terraforming is another copy of Mystic Mine. Also, Mystic Mine, believe it or not, has a lot of synergy with this deck because you have souls to turn it off, and also against Blight, for example, you're using Rights, and they will for sure Toad negate because they want the right for them, and if they don't negate the Toad, it's very hard for them to interrupt you other than that, because for example they can make smashers and banish the token, but then your Mystic Mine is live again. So it's really easy to bait interruptions and slap the mine and shake hands, GG, nice game, this needs to be addressed, but I'm taking advantage of it. Then you have Back Row Hate, Red Reboot, Triple Twin also allows you to play through Anti-Spell, Duster, and Evenly. And that's about it. I have a lot of other texts I would like to talk about, but I don't want this video to be too long. Also, leave any questions you have in the comments. I will respond to them all. Yeah, I think I will upload some combo tutorials or theory sessions about some text, for example, where I'm not playing the Rose Dragon engine or some other cool text. Yeah, let me know what you want to see, and until then, peace.